Hey guys, good day. This is Chris. Today I'm going to show you some more items in my Walking Dead collection. Today I'm going to show you issues number 181 through 193 of the original Walking Dead series. We're going to show you the end of it, all the variants that go into them, and the key issues. There's quite a few, so let's get started. We'll start it with number 181. Good Mercer and Princess cover there. There's a wraparound cover for that one. It's kind of cool. I take it out, but I don't want to cause any damage to it. They continued with the character variants. This is Glenn for number 181. Like the hat, very cool. And number 182. We're well into the Commonwealth storyline here. And here is the 182 Maggie variant, character variant. Next up is issue number 183, as tension begins to kind of mount in the Commonwealth over the class society. And the way it was is, you know, if you were a lawyer in the previous world, you were a lawyer here in the Commonwealth. And just think of Glenn being a pizza delivery guy. Yeah, I don't think that would work. 183, character variant, Ezekiel. I like these. These are really neat. These little character variants. Issue 184. They also started to do, instead of big, what seemed to be story arcs, you know, single stories. Kind of the writing was on the wall here. And then the Princess gets her own variant for number 184. Pretty cool. 185. There is, what's special about this guy, and it looks like I'm going to have to replace this one. This one's kind of in rough shape, and what's up with this one is that there's an error panel in this one, where they show Rick with two hands. Now, as you know, Rick loses his hand very early in the series when he tangles with the governor. And there's a panel in here that shows him with two hands, so that's kind of what makes this interesting. Number 185. Jesus gets his own variant for number 185. That's a really cool one. Very cool. And number 186 is a pretty big one. It is the death of Dwight. It's a pretty big key issue there. 186. And Negan gets his own cover in 186. Character variant. Oh, I had another one. I had two of those for some reason. Here's 187, and not really much of a key, but you kind of get a backstory on the Princess. Here is issue number 188. Followed by number 189. story is really coming to a head here. Number 190. I feel something bad is going to happen here. And then finally 191. This is the first printing, I believe. Huge issue here. Spoiler warning, if you don't want to know how The Walking Dead ends or the fate of one of the major characters, stop watching right now. This is the death, or the shot. Rick Grimes gets shot, which eventually will lead to his death. He is shot by Sebastian, of all people. Here is the second printing. Couldn't believe it. Of all the ways for Rick to go, he got taken out by a jealous little punk. Not by the governor, not by Negan, not by the Whisperers, not by really anybody. And here is the Rick Grimes tribute issue for 192. Yeah, not cool. But, you know, Carl was there, so unlike the show, Carl was there to take it over. This is the 192 blank variant. I think I did that backwards, but and the A cover. Sorry about that. Did that a little bit backwards. 192, the A cover. And then Skybound Image had come out with all of these images of the next few issues. And I don't know where I was. I think I was reading on social media. I saw a news clip that said The Walking Dead had ended. And this was like the day before. This was like the Tuesday before the issue number 193 had come out. And I read it, and I saw the headline. I'm like, yeah, no, that can't be right. It's got to be the TV show or something. So when I read it, it's sort of was a spoiler warning letting everybody know that Walking Dead had ended with issue 193. This was on a Tuesday. And I knew going into Wednesday, comic book day, that The Walking Dead was ending. And it was kind of a shock because Skybound had released all these cover images for the next few issues to continue the story, sort of as a swerve. And you know, Kirkman had mentioned before that he wanted to do about like 300 issues, so we figured we had a good 100 issues left to go. And with Rick gone, figured Carl would take up the mantle. And for those that don't know, there was a massive time shift. So you know, Carl was a little bit older. It definitely could have handled, you know, himself. I think he was a late teen at that point. So it would have been fine, you know, for Carl to take over the book. You know, then we got this guy, The Farmhouse, and it was a double issue, and ultimately was the end of the series. And it, you know, the rumors were true, and it was the end of the series. And kind of a stunner, really. I wasn't expecting it. Having been reading this title since 2007, you know, for this to end kind of suddenly was really kind of a shock. I kind of really wished I had not read that, gone on social media and read that report. I would have kind of liked to have liked the shock of it ending, and but wasn't to be. And I found out the day before. So unfortunately, after all those years of reading, I got spoiled. So there's the first printing of the final issue, Squarebound book. And they ended up changing it because it was, you know, The Farmhouse, and it was kind of like a weird title for it to be the final issue. So I don't think they really wanted to give anything away. And then they came up with the second printing and called it The End. A little disappointing to see this title end, because I really loved it. I thought it was great. I thought the writing was great. I thought the story was great. I thought the blood and gore was, even though it was in black and white, still was something I hadn't experienced before in a comic book, and it was kind of cool to read it. I got a couple of graded issues of the final issue. So here's a CGC 9.8 of the final issue. I wanted to make sure that I had a graded copy of the first and the last issue, so I picked this guy up, kind of add to the collection. Here's the back of it. I like how a little note just says last issue. It's like they could have easily kept it going. And then I ended up picking up this, which is the convention Comic-Con exclusive. This is the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 edition of the last issue. It's in blue. Sorry about the glare. And the CGC 9.8. Pretty cool. Again, I just wanted to make sure that I don't have the second printing in a CGC 9.8. Probably should get one of those at some point, but my goal is to go back and get all of the key issues, like the first appearance of Michonne, first appearance of the Governor, big key issues. I want to get those all graded, so I'll get my copies pressed and sent into CGC to get graded. But that'll happen at some point in time. So there you have it, The Walking Dead, numbers 1 through 193. We've gone through mostly all of the variants. There are a couple variants that I am missing. I'm missing the Hyundai edition of, I believe, issue 100. I think that's one of the only ones in the original series that I'm missing, is the Hyundai edition of issue 100. There's some others in a couple of the one-shots a little bit later on, but we'll get into those. We'll get into that when we start that series coming up soon. But we've gone through the whole series, a lot of variants. I believe I have 5 short boxes of Walking Dead comics, actually 6, almost 6, not including Walking Dead Deluxe. That adds another like 1.5, and then a whole box and a half of CGC graded Walking Dead books. You've seen a bunch of them on my videos already, but 1 through 193, there you go. I appreciate all you guys following along. Hope you've made it to the end. Hope I didn't bore you to death too much. Hope you liked this video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment below. But we'll be back with more. I've got a lot of other things to show you. And until then, again, thanks for joining me. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you next time.